Welcome back, Dan with Build It, Wheel It, Explore It. Moving on from the last video of the transfer case with the Northwest Fab black box installation. See, the truck is still where I left off. After looking more and more about possibly lowering and moving the engine and drivetrain, I'm pretty sure it's not really feasible. If I'm keeping the steering gearbox, it's pretty much not going to happen, period. And I am not ready to go full hydro yet. So for now, the drivetrain's staying where it's at. So what direction am I going in now? Drivetrain staying where it's at. Okay, that's going to save me a ton of work anyway, so that's cool. Just waiting on a couple gaskets to get the transfer case, the transmission tail housing adapter back to the transmission. Seal that up first. The transfer case I'm gonna keep kind of like a dry fit for a while. I'm not going to mount it or seal it until I can play around with stuff here with what I'm going to talk about next. All right, so the direction I'm moving in now is I've had a second set of Super Duty axles for a year plus. I've had trusses for each and 488 gear sets, etc., etc. I've had all this stuff for probably 2 years plus at this point. So 8-9 months ago, I pulled the axles out and I started cutting and shaving them down and got the shaving portion done and the ballistic covers and everything, fit. They're ready to be welded on. So that's my next step. I'm going to get these things welded up, trusses on, shave kits on, everything installed, get the gears, the Risley lockers, everything's going to be installed. These axles are going to be ready to rock because it only makes the most sense to start from the ground up because I'm going to be changing some stuff suspension-wise as well, and even though they're both Super Duty axles, the trusses are different. A couple things are different. So I'd be wasting my time setting up new stuff on the current axles. The current axles still have 538 gears. With the doubler now, that's why I'm going to 488 gears, because I don't need as low range in the axles anymore because now I have a doubler. So the axles need to be next. All right, so if you watched my other videos or have been following me, you've already seen this stuff. But I got them pulled back out, just kind of cleaning them up a little bit. They had a little bit of surface rust in certain areas. So I'm getting them cleaned up, mostly right around where I'm going to be welding and stuff first. And these need to be built and done next. And then I can finish the rest of the plans over here. All right, so my first time welding axle tubes, cast, and obviously definitely the first time doing a shave kit. So I'm starting with the Dana 60 first, just because after doing some research and talking to some people, the Dana 60 is not as complicated as the Sterling is. The Dana 60 is cast steel, which is not as picky and weird, whereas the Sterling is nodular cast iron, which requires nickel 55 wire. So I'm not going to change the wire out to do the Sterling and then whatever. So I'm just going to run my standard MIG wire, 035 thickness, following the instructions from Ballistic. I'm heating everything up 400 degrees solid, evenly, and then I'm basically welding quarters, this side. I'm needle scaling it every time. I'm putting a little bit more heat into it. I got the short side done right now. I got the blanket on it. I'm going to get the long side done next, and then I'll wrap both sides up. I kind of wanted to get a feel for it by doing the axle tubes first, and then get into the shave part. So you can see it's just smoking. I had about 415 consistently, weed burner, etc. So I cleaned everything up, wire brushed as good as I could, and I'm gonna start this side. All right, well, I'm keeping the temp decent right now. I just bolted on the diff cover and the shade plate. I'm gonna get this heated up and tack the bottom plate in place and then get ready to weld that on. So far, this welding on this 60 here is not too bad. Just put on, what, 5 tacks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm being extra cautious. I'm going to needle scale the shit out of everything I do. I mean, so far, those look pretty good. So I'm going to unbolt the cover now and see where we're at. All right, well, she's 100% welded. I'm going to give it one more heat and then wrap it up and call it good. It's all MIG welded, 2 or 3 passes around the outside, pass on the inside. Just kept needle scale, small areas. So I really hope it's gonna work out. All right, I heated it up again, like I said, wrapped it up with 2 blankets, tucked it inside, wrapped 2 around it. Overnight, good to go, took it off. Everything looks good. Just keep in mind, remember, this is all MIG welding, so it's not gonna be pretty like a TIG, but I think it still turned out really good. And then all the weird look to it, it's needle scaling, just everything. So, but everything looks good. So right now I'm just cleaning up and getting this top, I think it's AR 500 plate. So I'll get that welded on. And then that'll be the last piece on the shave on the Dana 60. I can't do anything with the heavy-duty inner C's yet from American Iron Off-Road until the axle is trussed and I'm starting to put it underneath the front. I want to set my pinion angle perfectly first on the axle, and then I'll be able to set my caster with the inner C's and then put those in place. So let me get this welded on real quick, and then I just got this one little area left to clean up from the factory Super Duty casting. No big deal. I did end up ordering a different truss from Barnes4wd. Initially, I was going full tilt. I was going to go 4-link front, full hydro. So I went with that style truss. I'm not going to do all that. So I have a low profile truss coming. And then I'm going to get this on the stand next and get the Sterling welded up. All right, time to get on the Sterling. So I'm going to hold it up like so, because the Sterling is way longer and there's more weight on it with the hubs right now. I just don't want any chances of the tubes moving or warping on the jack stands. So I figure if I stand them up, if I stand it upright, there's no pressure either way on a tube. So I got this one all cleaned up good. I'll do both sides, and then I just got to switch over to the Blue Demon wire. So I've never done any of this stuff with Blue Demon, so fingers crossed. All right, both axle tubes are done on the Sterling. As of yesterday, they were wrapped. I just unwrapped them. Everything looks good. Just this nickel wire doesn't weld as pretty, but I don't see any issues on either side. So that's good. So now I'm going to go ahead and just double check and clean up the surfaces for the shave kit and get that going. The outside welded really good. I'm going to test fit the cover real quick, heat it back up, keep the temp up, and then wrap it up, let it sit. All right, the cover's bolted on. It went on perfectly, actually. So happy about that. Heat it back up, wrap it, and keep moving on. All right, she is heated up. And I keep saying heated up. I mean, I'm maintaining, 325 to 400 degrees in between, and then it's back up to 400. Wrapped, 2 blankets inside, wrapped around. You can see she's cooking. So, all right, let's keep moving on here. I did put the truss on real quick. The welds around the axle tubes, there's 2 interference points, so no big deal. I'll grind those down, get the truss to fit. And I think I got something up here from TMR. Let me go take a look. All right, so both the Dana 60 and the Sterling are both fully shaved and welded. That part's done. I'm moving on to welding on the trusses. I just got done getting the Sterling truss on all the way. I'm just going to do a couple weld runs on the cast section just to attach it. So I'll heat that back up like I've been doing. Weld in 3 or 4 stitches, and then let that cool down. Then I'll move on to the Dana 60. All right, man, that thing is looking sweet. So Barnes 4-wheel drive truss, full width, fully welded all the way around. Like I said, I'm gonna stitch it onto the cast section just because I have the wire to do so. So yeah, I'm gonna do 2 in the front, here and here. And then probably 1 back here just to get a little bit of attachment. Why not, right? Oh, the sun's shining, but at that top on the back side, and then the 2 in the front. All right, that's all done, post-heated, wrapped up. So we'll let that cool. And that welded really nice. It seamed, because again, I was able to get everything nice and clean and shiny. So next I'll be taking off these hubs, and I still got the pinion inner races in, knock those out. And then I'm going to power wash and engine degrease the inside, everything out, get it nice and clean. And then obviously dry it, probably prime it, and go from there. So as far as the current axle, I'm gonna be pulling that out soon too. When I built this axle, there's brand new wheel bearings. So I'll be pulling those hubs, putting these hubs on that axle. Probably just pull these shafts out, keep those other shafts as backups, and then I gotta get that grizzly locker out, knock off the 538 ring gear, put the 488 ring gear on the grizzly, and then that'll be ready for here. And then I got a whole bunch of the link brackets and stuff coming in. So I'm just getting everything ready to go. Once these axle trusses are done and welded, I'll clean up my area, and then I'll set up. I'm going to do the Sterling first. I'll get all the Sterling ring and pinion stuff out first, get that geared. I want these geared and ready to go, so then I can start setting it up in here and get the link brackets attached. As far as the 60 goes, this Barnes low profile truss is super nice. I really like that. I already sold the other truss. Just gotta wait for the guy to pick that one up. But this right here, I mean, that's so clean. Only issue though is I'm going to be running the American Iron Off-Road heavy duty inner C's, and those are, I think he says, a 1/2 inch thicker. So when these are sitting on where they need to be, the truss is obviously designed for factory axles and C's. So I'm going to have to cut out probably, I don't know, 5/16. 5/16, no, well, I'll have to go more than that. Probably 3/8. 3/8 on both sides, just to shorten up and have enough room for the C's to go on. All right, well, that was easy enough. So I cut out that much per side. Everything's lined up. Once it's welded, and I mean, I could grind it and make it look like it never happened, but whatever. It's pretty sweet. So these are on basically where they need to be, and there's still plenty of room. So yeah, that works out just fine. Simple modification. So I'll get that tacked together, and I'll get the truss welded off the axle on the inside, and then fit it and weld it on. All right, Dennis, 60 truss is welded on 100%. Heated up the cast again. I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want to make sure everyone knows that everything's been heated, needle scaled, post heat, preheat. So bing, bing, and then bing, bing. So we're good to go. Wrap her up, let her cool. All right, so now that the axles are fully trussed, welded, etc., it's time to move on. So I have the rear axle in place. I'm getting that set up. What do you call it? Centered between the frame, and getting it located at full bump. And I got the top link brackets tacked on as well. Let's take a look. So I know it's kind of looking like a mess right now, but so I went ahead and marked my center in multiple locations on the frame. Got my center on the axle housing. I actually used my alignment brackets. I got them vertical. Well, they moved a little bit, but I had jack stands holding them straight up and down, and then that way I could put a tape measure across and get my absolute center on the housing. And then I have a laser that I'll set here, verify, which I already have done. But that's going to wrap up this video, because now I'm going to move on to getting these axles in place, getting the brackets tacked on and whatnot. So yeah, just stay tuned, and I'm going to keep plugging away at this stuff.